Hi, everybody. Joe Cioffi here. Weather in 5 days in 5 minutes, brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware, 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon, New York. Everything you need to get your home or the landscape around your business in tip-top shape. So get the truck over there and load up. 631-756-1125. They've got the best prices anywhere on Long Island and in the tri-state area. The website is omnitruevalue.com. Tempest by Weatherflow. Our Tempest, our newest affiliate. Get the revolutionary Tempest weather system or any other weather gadgets and gizmos and join the fastest growing weather observing network on the planet. The link is on the description to this video. And if you do decide to purchase something, use the coupon code Joe and Joe Weather Show because you'll get 10% off your purchase. All right, let's take a look at what's going on this afternoon. We've got a few things happening here. This happened yesterday. Satellite is not doing a good job of picking up some of the low-level smoke that's around, and one of the drivers here yesterday, and to a lesser extent today, is the fact that we still have this onshore flow. Now, we've been dealing with the northwest flow aloft for a number of days during the last month, and that has been bringing down some of the smoke at the higher levels of the atmosphere. But this time around, it's a little bit different. We're not getting that flow. We're actually cut off from the flow. It's coming down from Nova Scotia and points offshore and getting caught in that easterly flow from off the ocean, and it's bringing some smoke in at lower levels. And this has impacted areas like New Jersey, for example, where we have air quality issues, and a few other areas as well. Also in parts of upstate New York, particularly in central New York, there's been an issue. The onshore flows kind of relaxed a little bit today. We have a weak low off the North Carolina coast. It's not really doing much of anything. The other thing I do want to point out is that we do have a low pressure, lower than normal pressures in the eastern Gulf of Mexico. And the Hurricane Center is watching some thunderstorms there around this low. Most of them are displaced north and east of the center, and I'll show you that on the satellite loop here. There you can see there's some thunderstorms going on in the northeastern part of the Gulf of Mexico, but any kind of low center is well to the southeast of that. The circulation is well to the southeast of where all the thunderstorms are. So for now, we're not seeing any signs of convection developing near the center. They rate this as a 20% chance that this could develop in the next few days as it continues to sort of drift eastward, and then eventually it's going to drift southeastward. There will be heavy rain consequences for Florida out of this. Meanwhile, as we look at the full U.S. satellite loop, it's a day of sunshine from Maine down into Virginia. There were some coastal clouds this morning. They've thinned out. They're still hanging about a little bit in parts of Chesapeake Bay and in eastern North Carolina. You can see the little circulation with the low that's off the North Carolina coast. We've got some patchy clouds in the southeast. And it looks like we're probably going to have another round of severe weather to deal with in the western plains. Rain over Florida at the moment seems to be mostly offshore. We might see this change as we go into the evening hours. Meanwhile, the northeast and mid-Atlantic states are nice and quiet. A little bit of shower and thunderstorm activity scattered around the Great Lakes, sort of hugging inland of Lake Michigan down into Illinois. And we've got some showers and thunderstorms bubbling up in northeastern New Mexico. And this is where we have our risk today. We have a marginal to slight risk up and down the western plains. There's an area of 2 to 5% tornado risk in New Mexico and extreme northwest Texas. And as we move on to tomorrow, it's marginal to slight risk. Again, northwest Texas, eastern New Mexico. Not much really happening in the east except up in northern New England and down in Florida with that tropical-ish low, if you want to call it that. Now, Friday into Saturday, Friday night, there may be some thunderstorms that will develop in New England that will move southward. It looks to me like those storms will probably fall apart before they reach the immediate coast to Long Island, New Jersey, eastern Pennsylvania. But there may be some thunderstorms Friday evening in parts of interior Connecticut, maybe the middle Hudson Valley back up into Massachusetts and points north. I think there's a better chance that we'll see some thunderstorms on Saturday. And it also looks like we may even have some lingering showers around on Sunday. The WPC folks have added precipitation now to the forecast here This is the 7-day forecast, but they've got a quarter to a half an inch over New Jersey and eastern Pennsylvania. A lot of these areas are very dry, so the rain is needed. I know it may come on a weekend, but what can you do? More robust rainfall amounts of 3/4 of an inch to an inch and a quarter, maybe even an inch and a half in a little patch there in Maine and in eastern New Hampshire, but New England looks to get more out of this. Central and South Florida, we're looking at an inch to maybe as much as 3 inches plus, especially in South Florida. And also needed rains from Texas northwestward up through the Rockies, where we have large patches showing an inch and a half plus, particularly in North Texas and in western Oklahoma and southern Kansas. So that's good news for them. So we're going to be in okay shape here, I think, through the daytime Friday. For the most part, most of the area should be okay through Friday evening. We've got this coastal low that's just going to fall apart. Higher pressure starts to take over. The onshore flow should relax, and that means temperatures are going to be rising. For tomorrow, we should see inland highs get into the 80s. It'll be a little bit cooler at the shore. Friday, you'll notice how the GFS pops up a couple of thunderstorms there, northernmost New Jersey, northeastward into New England, but then they're just about gone. This is at 8 o'clock at night, Friday night. There's nothing showing up on Long Island and in New Jersey and Point South, just a couple of dots here and there, and then it's over with. The cold front will come through on Saturday. This is where I think we see the better chance for some showers and thunderstorms, particularly later Saturday morning and Saturday afternoon. And the front's going to get hung up, and we're going to get another little spin develop offshore. So I think we could see clouds and lingering showers around on Sunday and maybe even a Sunday night into Monday. So, one of the things I learned over the years, and I should have just kind of stuck this into my head, is that whenever we get into these dry patterns where the models show that it doesn't rain for 10 days or more, 9 times out of 10, actually I would probably say 95 times out of 100, that does not wind up being the case, that somehow something shows up to throw a bit of moisture in there, and I think that's what we're going to see this weekend with this weather front and potentially it getting hung up and hanging around with some showers on Sunday. We're going to talk more about this tonight on the Joe and Joe Weather Show, which is live at 7:35 p.m. this evening on my YouTube channel, so we hope to see you then.